Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we are continuing our ongoing coverage of the civil war taking place inside the former state of Ethiopia and the Eritrean invasion of Tigray. So, first, as we continue our coverage, I wanted to address some allegations that have come up both in some media outlets as well as content providers on YouTube that allege that the Tigrayan Defense Forces were defeated. That the Tigrayan Defense Forces surrendered. That is simply not the case. I'll try to explain. So, when we saw and observed the first invasion by Eritrean forces, by Abiy loyalist forces into the Tigray region in November of 2020, that was prior to the mobilization of the Tigrayan Defense Forces, we observed that they were able to, meaning they, the Eritrean army, the Abiy loyalist forces, were able to seize control of large parts of the Tigray region, including the capital Mekelle. They then made a strategic mistake by attempting to enter the Tenbian region, where they were defeated wholesale. Again, they, Eritrean army, and specifically Abiy loyalist forces, ENDF units. Now, with the resumption of fighting that took place recently, we saw another invasion by the Eritrean army, essentially an attempt at the very same campaign that was executed back in November of 2020. Unlike the prior campaign, where they were able to move into Mekelle and other areas as well, they were not able, the Eritrean army, Abiy loyalist forces, were not able to take control of the entire Tigray region. They were actually only able to take control of a much smaller area based on the same type of operation that was launched in 2020. Yes, Shire was taken, Axum, Adwa was taken, and Shiara was taken. But outside of that, the Eritrean military objectives, which were indeed a move to seize control of Adigrat, then move south towards Mekelle, while Abiy loyalist forces moved north from Korem, Alamata, and then meet in Mekelle. They were not able to do that. Didn't happen. The Tigrayan defensive lines were stabilized south of Maichu, and then Eritrean forces were then besieged near Adwa. The Tigrayan defense forces still exist. In all probability, we are looking at an operational respite for the Tigrayan Defense Forces. And at the same time, in all probability, an operational respite for Abiy loyalist forces, which have proven incredibly incompetent through the whole series of campaigns. The only saving grace that has prevented a complete defeat of Abiy loyalist forces is the despotic Spartan nation state of Eritrea. And some help with some high-tech drones. Now we're seeing an uptick in operations by the Oromo Liberation Army, especially in Western Oromia. That is continuing. They are continuing to frustrate, and in some cases, defeat Abiy loyalist forces on the battlefield. they are fighting the Abiy loyalist forces in Western Oromia in a manner that the Abiy loyalist forces simply do not know how to respond. The Abiy loyalist forces can focus firepower, manpower, and they can seize control of a defined military objective. For example, Nekemte. If Nekemte was fully seized by the OLA, yes, Abiy loyalist forces, with the support of its air force, heavy artillery, tanks, could then retake control of Nekemte. What they can't do is fight a high-intensity counterinsurgency operation, the likes of which the OLA is conducting. And that is what could bring down the Abiy Ahmed regime. The OLA is not fighting the type of war that Abiy Ahmed wants the OLA to fight. And it's proving very difficult for Abiy loyalist forces. This could have an impact on what we are seeing in the north, specifically the Tigray region. This is not resolved. It is simply a pause button. The social contract in Tigray has been broken. The idea and concept that Tigray and the Tigrayan people can coexist with Eritrean army units on its soil and Amharan regional militia units on its soil is nonsensical. Not going to happen. Not in the long term. Especially with what's going on in the south. So again, no. The Tigrayan Defense Forces have not been defeated. They still have operationally cohesive units in the field. Tens of thousands, possibly well over 150,000. They have not disarmed. They have not handed over weapons. So let's see what happens. We will continue to monitor, report, and thank you for joining us today. And as always, have a good day.